Hey guys, we're on day number 21, our third week, coming to an end here. We've got a full body flexibility routine today. It's 30 minutes long. We've got a quick 8 movement warm up, and then we're holding our stretches for 1 minute today. You will need blocks and straps. And we're gonna get started with Old Faithful with some cat and cow. So let's come on to hands and knees and rounding the back and arching the back. Let's go ahead and get going. Okay guys, we're gonna move into a lateral cat cow. So we're gonna do the same thing, but going side to side. So hands and knees, turn to one side, turn to the other side, trying to bend the spine sideways as much as we can. Let's get ready. Here we go. Okay guys, we have a T-spine twist, so let's sit the bum down to the heels. We'll bring the elbows to the floor, hands by the head, and we're rotating up to the sky, alternating arms, trying to rotate the spine as much as we can. So let's get into it, here we go. Try to keep the bum contacting the heels the whole time, so we force the upper spine to do the rotation and not the lower spine. After this, we're on our back for the rest of the warm-up. All right, so let's lie down on the back, and we're gonna bring the feet a little bit wider than your shoulders, arms out to a T, and we're gonna let the hips fall in side to side for some supine hip openers. So let's get to it. Just getting some gentle rotation here, just letting the hips warm up a little bit. We're gonna be doing some hip circles after this, before we get into the nitty-gritty of it. Got 18 stretches today, full body, holding for a minute each. We'll have 20 seconds in between exercises. I'm not gonna give too much coaching today. All right, so let's keep the right leg straight. Left leg is gonna come into the chest and out to the side for some gentle hip circles, just getting things warmed up, and then we'll switch directions on the next one. There we go, knee to the chest, left side, out to the side, and around. And keep the coaching to a minimum today, because I've done a lot of these movements already in this program, so it's just a chance for you to stay in tune with your body and really get deep into the positions here. Brief rest, and we're going to do the same thing in the other direction now. So go out to the side first and up to the middle, and then we'll do the other side. So let's begin. We'll go out to the side first and then up through the center. Move through the biggest pain-free range of motion you can, just getting the hip joint warmed up and ready. Got a good amount of stretching today. We're going to keep our stretches to a 6 out of 10, so something that is uncomfortable but that you can hold for the entire duration of the stretch without fidgeting too much. That's time. A little bit less is more for today. We're trying not to push it too hard. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, so let's start by pulling the right knee into the chest, then out to the side for hip circles. We're going to do once in each direction. Let's go ahead. So knee to the chest, out to the side, and around. as you can see, with a lot of the repetition, some repetition in the program is the ideal for any part of fitness and making progress, is having some amount of repetition and some amount of novelty. It should be about 80% repetition, 20% novelty. That's just a general rule. It's not science or fact. It's just what I've worked out over the time that I've trained people. Novelty is not even there for results. It's more just to keep you mentally focused. So here we go to the other side, out to the side and up. I mean, it is optimal to have the exact same program week over week with no changes or minimal changes to give your body the opportunity to adapt. But not everybody can do that. We get bored easily, so the novelty is more there to keep you motivated and sticking with things, which is an important part of fitness. So last little chunk of the warm-up here, and then we're gonna come up into a curled Seiza. All right, so let's come on up to seated, and we're gonna curl the toes under for our curled Seiza. So make sure all 5 toes are curled under and sit your entire body weight down onto the bum. So you're sitting on your heels. If you have troubles reaching, you can make it easier by sitting on a block or putting the block between your bum and your heels. So let's hold on tight, enjoy this one. It gets pretty tough by the end. We're going to be grabbing the strap for the next stretch. 10 more seconds. All right, that's time. So we're going to move into a flat back pike stretch. So we're going to take the strap and put it around your feet and only straighten the legs as far as you can without losing that flat back position. So you want to keep a little bit of an arch. So let's go ahead and start straightening the legs only as far as you can straighten them until you start to lose the flat. As soon as you feel your back around, you've gone too far. Keep that flat back position, nice arch in the back, and only pull forward. You should start to feel the lower back get tired. Keep the legs straight. There we go. More seconds. All right, we're going to move into a pigeon. So come on to a push-up position quickly. And we're going to bring the left foot up by the hands so that it's across the mat. And bring that knee to the floor. Try not to fall out with the hips. Keep the hips squared forward. So this might be the stretch for you, but eventually we want to drop the knee to the floor and bend back. If you need to, you can place a block under your bum to help support you, but try to keep the hips squared forward, and we're going to hold this upright pigeon position. Also try to make sure the shin stays parallel to the short edge of the mat so your heel is not sliding in towards your bum. If it does, just hold it with your foot or with your hand. going to switch sides. So again, push-up position. Let's bring the right foot across the mat so that it's in line with the short edge of the mat, and keep your hips squared forward. And then we can slide that back knee back. If you can reach the floor, that's amazing. We can take a block under the hip if you need for support, but we're trying to sink the hip down without rotating from the hips. Keep the chest and hips squared forward. Nice and upright. So after this, we're moving into a hurdler stretch. It's a hamstring stretch for the left. Almost there. All right. So come on out of that. We're going to take the left leg forward, and this right side is going to be up against the left thigh, and we're going to reach forward. So if you can't sit upright, block comes in handy to sit on, and if you can't reach your foot, you can use this strap if you need to, but we're going to be doing a forward fold here. So let's begin. Keep the back as flat as you can. A little bit of round is okay, but keep it as flat as you're able to, and try to keep this knee pressed into the floor. All right, we're going to switch sides. So right leg straight, left leg will be tucked into the side. Try to make sure the back stays a little bit straight. A little bit of a round is okay. If you need to, you can use straps around the foot or a block, but let's bend forward as much as we can here. Here we go. And let's get into it. Keep that leg nice and straight. Okay, we've got a half hero pose. So let's tuck the left knee into the side like so. Make sure your ankle is straight with your shin. We'll open the knees up to about 90 degrees. Now, if you can't sit in this position, block goes under the bum like usual, and we're gonna lean back to stretch this left thigh. So let's lean on into it, nice and far back. If you're feeling pressure in your lower back, try to squeeze the butt cheeks. So squeeze the glutes to tuck the pelvis under. Our goal with this is to eventually lie completely flat on the floor, like so. And that's what we're working toward. Okay guys, so we're just gonna switch sides. So right leg is gonna be tucked into the side, left leg is long. And from here, we're gonna lean on back to stretch this right side quad. So hips open to 90 and bend straight back. Here we go. Okay, and we're gonna come have a seat in a butterfly stretch. So we're gonna sit tall, bring the bottoms of the feet together. Sit nice and tall. And then let's pull the knees out and down away from one another, holding the feet together. If you have trouble sitting upright, block goes under the bum. Let's pull the knees down and stretch. If it starts to get easy, you can lean the body forward to increase the stretch on this one. And settle in. Moving on to the adductors now. Okay guys, we're gonna move into a frog stretch. So let's turn. I recommend going sideways on the mat and bring the knees as wide apart as you can get them with your toes pointed out and your knees bent to 90 to get to the adductors. Make sure from the side, your knee is in line with the hips. And from here, we're just gonna settle in and stretch the inner thighs. All right, in our last adductor stretch, we're gonna move into a seated pancake. So have a seat and bring the legs open nice and wide with the legs straight. If you can't get upright, block under the bum yet again. And from here, we're gonna try and tilt the pelvis and lean forward into this pancake stretch and keep the lower back as flat as you can. A little bit around is okay, but we're trying to really keep it flat and tilt forward into this pancake. Keep the thighs nice and tight, push the legs wide. And we'll be moving into upper body next. pelvis. We're almost there. Okay, so we're gonna lie down on the stomach for a pec stretch. So we'll start with the left arm. So lie down on the floor. We're gonna bring the left arm, the arms out to goalpost, and turn your head to the right and keep the front of the left shoulder on the floor. And then we're gonna rotate the body toward the left. You can use your bottom arm, your right arm as leverage to increase the stretch. And you can take the top foot and open it for leverage as well. Feeling the stretch through the left side chest. If you're not feeling it in the chest, just move the arm up and down until you feel the right spot. It should be right in the chest muscles. And hold. We're just going to switch on over to the other side. So arms to goalpost position, turn your head to the left, have the front of the right shoulder on the floor, and then we're going to use the left arm as leverage to rotate the body and stretch the right side pec. Begin. Okay guys, we're gonna come on up into a puppy dog stretch. So let's bring the knees directly below the hips in the hands and knees position, and then walk the arms forward without moving the hips forward or backward. And we're gonna try and sink the chest down to the floor, having most of the bend come from the spine. So trying to sink the chest down toward the floor, bending from the upper back with the goal of eventually actually touching the chest down to the ground. Arching the back as much as you can here. Try to keep the hips stacked over top of the knees so we're not moving forward or backward. And we've got a seated bicep stretch. So we're gonna have a seat on the bum with the fingers pointing back on the mat like so. Keep the hands somewhat close together. We're gonna round the shoulders and slide the hips forward to stretch the biceps. If you feel some sharp pain in the elbow, which is very common, you can either bring your hands a little bit wider or think about grabbing the floor with your hands. Both of those things can help. Slide forward just a bit here. Keep the shoulders rounded and feel the stretch in the biceps. Okay guys, so we've got an Apley scratch stretch. So let's take hold of your yoga strap. I'll show you from the back here. I'm gonna take the left arm, reach overhead and drape the strap down and reach the right arm up the back and try to grab as close together on the strap as you can. If you can actually grab the hands together, that's ideal. That's what I'll be doing. But you can use the strap as well. And we're holding this for 60 seconds. It's a tough one. Start gentle with this one, it can get intense pretty quickly. Okay, come on out of that one slowly. We'll do the other side now. So left arm's gonna go up the back, right arm down the back. Come to there as close as you can. Oh, that's my bad side. All right, and we've got our last stretch, which is a T-spine opener. So we're gonna lie down on the back and take the block and place it right under the shoulder blade, just below the shoulder blades here. And then we're gonna lie the chest open and let the chest expand here. So we want it just below the shoulder blades, letting the chest open up. If that feels easy, you can add more blocks, but we're just trying to open up from the spine and try to, over time, sink the ribs down so that we're bending from the upper back and settle in. That is it for today. Awesome work today, guys. Week number 4 starts tomorrow. We'll see you there.